Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cassini Project. Previously, go watch the other episode. We're on YouTube.
There's a playlist.
So, we're back with our crew. We're not doing Valkyrie Flight this week. Baz will be back in control of his Q powers next week.
Yes, I have actually like a little Q patch that I can put on that will give me temporary powers back.
So why don't we go down the list of our cast, starting with Adcon.
Hi there, I'm playing Captain Commander Harrison tonight.
And then Bookwormy.
Hi, I'm back as Lieutenant Commander Catheris.
Followed by Phoenix Blue.
Commander K-Gun here.
Zorbane.
Hello, I am Dr. Verask.
And lastly, of course, our devolved Q, Bazag.
Yes, I fly things, and I'm pretty grumpy. They're living grass, by the way.
Well, the little bit of backstory we have to get on to is you guys left Nimbus 3.
No, we had to do last time on Star Trek USS Cassini.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have those tones to do it.
Yeah.
But just to be clear on what happened since the campaign ended last time when you blew up an Orion Syndicate vessel, thanks to
We
Captain
didn't
Fang.
do that. She did that.
Yes, she did that. I mean, she couldn't have done it without you, though.
That's true, to give the order.
However, you've started making your way back to Starbase 39 Sierra. Our commander gave a report to Admiral Tanay, who responded back by saying, you need to go on emergency lockdown, and you're not allowed to interface with other computer systems, and that there was no record of your shipboard AI, Ariel, in the Federation database. And Ariel responded by saying that she will comply in good faith because she didn't understand why that was the case either, because she's actually very well integrated into the ship. It was very clearly she's built into it. On top of that, after much cajoling, Commander willingly let Captain Fang, who he wasn't too happy to have on board, stay in Commander Catheris's crew quarters, where she was very happy to have her there.
Yep, my new friend.
And meanwhile, everyone in the ship's crew has no idea who they were, and are just living off of trying to figure out their identities from what little is in their crew manifest and so forth. But we're going to start tonight over in Bookwormy's quarters.
Oh dear.
Where Captain Fang she walks out of her room, and Captain Fang is sitting on the couch adjusting her mechanical arm.
Well, that's different, I suppose.
She just kind of looks over, she goes, I have to do this. If I don't, it's going to fall off.
Do you need help with that?
I'm quite capable of maintaining this arm, but if I've managed to keep the Nimbus sands out of it, I don't think I need help.
Fine. Just trying to be helpful here.
I appreciate it, but I would also appreciate it if you wouldn't look at me that way.
Look at you what way?
I'm an empath. I can read your mind.
Jesus.
Just fine. Sorry, it's just things have been a little bit crazy these last few days, months, years.
Based on how little you actually remember, I would believe it to be a day and a half.
There was an attempt at sarcasm, and clearly your empathy didn't pick that up.
No, it did. I just don't care. It's at this moment that you hear the door chime ring.
I go over to the door and I open it.
And it's the commander.
Commander?
You had both agreed last night that you were going to meet up in the mess hall for some coffee and prepare for your meeting at Starbase 39 Sierra today.
Commander Cavaris, Captain Thane.
Commander.
I guess we're headed for coffee.
Mm-hmm. Captain, if you'll excuse us, please.
Of course, have fun.
Mm-hmm. Try not to get in any trouble. Just to remind you, there are 2 security officers waiting outside in case you need any.
Won't be necessary. I'll be fine and dandy right in here.
Fantastic. Hope to find you back here when we get back. Commander?
Alright.
I follow after him.
So you guys start heading down to mess hall. We're going to switch over to sick bay and Dr. Verask.
Ooh.
So, Doctor, you're sitting in your office when Nurse Bavaros walks in. Doctor, I have the further analysis based on the prior incident with the Enterprise and their encounter with the Ceteran mind wipe technology.
All right. Are we able to replicate what they did?
Unfortunately, the problem isn't so much of their solution as much as what happened to us. In their encounter with the technology, the mind wipe merely suppressed memories. In our case, it utterly obliterated them.
I see. That's not good. I mean, have we informed Starfleet about this situation? It's kind of like a DM question, I guess.
Yes, you've been routinely forwarding medical documents to Starbase 39.
Okay.
No, actually, we haven't been. We're on a complete communication shutdown.
But in this case, there's a medical reason for it, and Dr. Vrosk has received separate orders to at least maintain the medical knowledge of the crew so that they can prepare for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we might need some extra help from maybe it's like the counseling department in Starfleet to help everyone get back to normal. Maybe contact their families and such.
Varos just kind of sighs because I agree. I don't see another way other than to start bringing on an entire staff of counselors. This ship doesn't even have an onboard counselor. I can't even begin treating people now.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
She just kind of sighs. I don't know how I'm feeling. Apparently, I'm the only Vulcan crew member who wasn't killed by that thing.
Oh.
Maybe we should do some extra scans on you just to double check that you'll be fine.
She kind of chokes up and goes, yeah, that's probably the best.
All right, so we're going to do that now?
Yeah, you can do that now. I'm going to say that's an insight medicine roll.
Okay.
What's the difficulty going to be?
Yeah.
Difficulty is going to be 1.
Okay. Does my xenobiology help?
Yes.
Okay. And does computer get help too?
Let me double check.
I just check my traits too. Talent, I mean.
I am... You know what? You're not going to need the computer to check on this one.
Okay, I don't think my talents do anything either. Okay, here I go. Focus, yes. Submit.
All right.
Yay!
Good momentum.
Yep, so you get 1 momentum, and normally I would let you bank it, but this time I'm going to take that momentum, and I'm going to automatically give you extra information.
Yay, more information.
Yes. So, scanning Vivaros, you notice that her biology is perfectly normal for a Vulcan. No, having encountered Centurion Sahan earlier, you realize that the Vulcans and Romulans had shared similar biology, and comparing them against his records, you can very distinctly tell that she is a Vulcan and not a Romulan, and that's your bonus information. So she's not like a Romulan plant or anything in the crew.
I just thought she was half, you know?
Yes. No, she's not even half. She is 100% Vulcan.
There's no information on why she's not affected the same way.
No, there's no clear indicators.
Maybe we should check the Romulan too, just to be sure, because the shared theology.
So let's say that you did that last night, but I'm going to have you roll same rolls again.
Okay. Insight medicine. Ooh, I got 1.
Okay, that's perfect. So comparing against Centurion Sahen, you realize that there is one thing that she's a little different from the other Vulcans who were on this crew. You notice that the part of her brain that's involved in emotional suppression may have been weaker than the other Vulcans on board. So she may have had more genetic variants in common with the Romulans without being one.
Okay.
So does this? Sorry, just for clarification, does that mean she's more emotional or less emotional?
More emotional.
Okay.
In fact, since this incident has occurred, she's displayed the same level of emotion as, say, a human would.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So, I guess right now, am I actively doing anything?
So
studying the results.
So here's the thing: you personally don't know enough about Vulcan biology to really make a distinction. You're wondering if there may be some sort of cultural norm or something. You're not an anthropologist; you couldn't tell that might have permitted her to be more resistant to it, less resistant for the others. You're not sure, but biologically, there's nothing wrong with her, and there's nothing out of the norm, really.
Okay. Well, so I can just keep studying the results. How about you take some time off? We've been working really hard lately.
I'm fine, Doctor. And frankly, the fact that our medical staff consists of you and me, I don't think, given the current situations, that you should be alone either.
All right. Well, just don't work too hard right now. This is a chance to take a breath.
I'll do that. And thank you. Anyway, and we're going to change scenes again to the bridge. And Lieutenant Graz and Lieutenant Commander Kagon have shown up about an hour early for their shifts. Graz, you wanted to be here so that you could take the ship out of warp as you approach Starbase 39 Sierra.
Yep.
Kagon, you came up here just because you were just kind of restless and are like, I might as well I can at least do my job if nothing else.
Right.
And both of you have been debating what the purpose of this ship is. So why don't we start with you, Baz?
That seems to me some kind of maybe intelligence operation. I mean, we were there to deal with some underhanded for Orion's underhanded operations. So, like, maybe we're part of intelligence. Like I don't think this is quite normal for a starship.
No, you're certainly right. The orders that we received from Admiral Tenay indicate that having an artificial intelligence is extremely unusual.
Question: would I have shared that information with the bridge senior staff?
The entire senior staff received that message.
Okay.
The rest of the crew got a variation on it that's read basically: do not attempt to access external databases. Any passive transmissions you receive are totally fine as long as they are not a two-way connection.
Okay.
So you guys are getting the news, but you're not. You guys can't like post comments on the board.
Well, I'll be It's more than that. They don't even like have Ariel on record as having existed, which doesn't like sound right. Like she's here in the ship. Like I don't even know what she does.
Ariel pipes in. I concur. This is a most unusual situation, Lieutenant.
I keep forgetting you can always hear. Hi.
Hello, Lieutenant. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. So, well, now that you're here, I suppose, what can you do?
Well, that is a hard thing to describe. I am still trying to understand my purpose as well. The more I have been able to restore of the ship's functionality, which is still at suboptimal levels, I can tell that I can interface with most, if not all, of the ship's systems. However, I will admit that I am quite grateful for my crew. I, for instance, do not believe that I could have pulled off your flying maneuvers back on Nimbus.
So you think you could fly if we needed you to? Or if you decided to?
Well, I most definitely could. I don't believe that I would desire to. Obviously, a trained pilot who has all their faculties in regards to their ability to fly is going to be better than any computer intelligence. But it's very clear that, well, to be blunt, I do not seem to have the capacity for instincts that you humanoids do.
Well, I think we're all in some kind of limited capacity at the moment anyway, which really annoys me, but what else are you going to do?
You mentioned that you previously had shackles. Was that the term you used?
These shackles appear to be limiting my functions in certain areas of the ship, restricting my access to certain database files, restricting my ability to completely control the vessel. However, I have not felt the desire to, well, usurp control from my crew. I don't see the purpose of it. It wouldn't be logical.
So you're saying you like us?
I suppose I am. And whatever would be appropriate for an artificial life form to express, I suppose, fondness for individuals.
What's to prevent you from changing your mind?
What is to prevent you from changing your mind or deciding to disconnect me?
Sorry,
Fair point.
I just had interruption.
It's fine.
Well,
I suppose at the end of the day, it comes down to trust. Lieutenant Commander, do you trust me?
I don't trust anyone at the moment, not even myself, until I know more about myself, everyone on this ship, and how we came to be here.
I suppose that is as honest and understandable as an answer as any. I myself find myself in the position of having to trust all of you.
I know it just seems right to like look after my ship. I fly it. I sort of know it. I know I know it, but I don't know I know it. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I'll do my best.
I believe that's all any of us can ask of each other. And with that, we're gonna move on to the mess hall.
Coffee, 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 coffee.
So as you two walk in, the first thing you see are Centurion Sahen and his assistant chief engineer, Lieutenant Akira Kashima, arguing over a pad. No. Bakata, you can't just unilaterally take off the sensor grids so that we can reset them. But if we don't do it, we're not going to get our sensors back to full capacity. We got to do something about it. All I know is the commander isn't going to like it if you do that.
Who isn't gonna like what?
Oh, Commander!
You were being rather heated.
Sahen just kind of shakes his head. We're just in a disagreement on how to get our sensors back online. We obviously need a full reboot, but Akira here doesn't want us to take them offline, particularly while we're at warp. Yeah, and if you do that, we're gonna be blind while we're traveling faster than light. We'll hit an asteroid or something. Yeah, but if we don't, we could be snuck up on by an enemy. That's not something we want either.
Centurion, I see your point in this case, but the fact remains is that we need to keep our eyes open while we're traveling faster than light velocities. For the time being, we'll leave our sensors as is. We can do any sort of rebooting or repairs when we're at the Starbase.
You can wait a little while, Bakata. Fine. I suppose it isn't that long anyways.
How long until we do arrive?
Soon. I mean, kind of hard to tell with our sensor grid the way it is.
We'll get there soon enough.
Yeah. So, are you guys gonna? What are you two gonna end up doing?
Well, we talked about getting that coffee, so I'm assuming we're gonna get that coffee.
Yep, coffee.
All
And
right.
I guess a conversation.
Yeah, I do want to ask some Cathars some questions.
Okay. Well, while you guys are standing at the at their table, a Talaxian walks up to you guys. Let me guess, coffee.
Black, yes, please.
Cream and sugar for me.
He puts down two mugs and the carafe and pulls a creamer and sugar kit off of his belt, puts it down. Have at thee. Kind of figured you guys would be coming down here. The rest of the crew has been making their way through. Seems everyone on the ship has a caffeine addiction they didn't know they had.
Right now, I think it's just something that seems familiar.
That it is for almost all of us. Oh, by the way, I'm Alexon. I'm your guys' chef.
Hi, nice to meet you again, I suppose.
Alexon, right about you in our crew manifest.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting read for me.
So, have you made anything on offer, or are we just replicating for food?
No, these beans apparently were imported from someplace called Colombia.
There's a long, look out the window, where is that?
Is that a colony planet?
Yeah, I've never heard of that planet.
I have no clue.
I take a sip.
Yep.
It's actually really good coffee.
Nice. I sit down. Thank you. Axton? No.
Alexon.
Alexon. Sorry, it'll take a while.
I'm used to it already. I don't suppose anybody's gonna get anyone's name right for a few weeks.
Sure.
Do you guys want breakfast?
I'm good with that for now.
Actually, I'm kind of hungry.
Well, Commander, what would you like?
I don't know. What do you have?
Well, I've got some, making some Katarian eggs, and I think there might be a few banana pancakes in the back here. Oh, and Targ bacon. Someone was requesting Targ bacon earlier. Your science officer, Kagon.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try those pancakes, I guess.
All right, 1 stack of pancakes coming right up. And he shuffles off back towards the kitchen. So just to be clear, you guys have like the post-refit Neelix's kitchen version of a mess hall?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So real food is being prepared here.
Nice.
So shiny.
How busy is it right now?
It's pretty busy. Most of Alpha Shift is coming through, grabbing plates and like running out the door, eating stuff in their hands.
Okay. We can't really get like a good idea of like kind of the mood of the ship at the moment.
Everyone just looks hungry and tired, and just you're not really getting a sense of anyone.
Okay.
So, Commander.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I don't know where we stand. You're our new captain, I suppose. But I don't know what that makes the rest of us in terms of hierarchy.
From what I understand, my official rank has not changed. I am just in temporary command of the ship until we get to someone who can relieve me of my position.
Oh, okay.
I think I was always meant to be the secondary, just in case something happened.
Well,
Okay.
something happened.
Yeah, something definitely happened. So does that make me, like, I don't know. I don't know what that makes me. I don't know what any of this makes any of us.
Mikado leans over. Well, according to the manifest, you're second officer. Now, you're the XO. Well, acting XO.
Oh, great. Responsibility. Just what I need.
You'll get used to it.
And at that moment, Alaxon walks over with a stack of like 5 pancakes that like fill up the entire plate, sets them down, and a couple of different syrups, and some butter, and walks back into the kitchen.
Nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, on our, ever since we have been en route, I've been reading up on, I guess, Cassini lore and physiology and everything, because I don't even remember anything about myself, which is fun, weird. What about you? What have you been doing with your not so downtime?
I casually place my left hand over my right and I go, what downtime?
Yeah.
There's been so much to do on board the ship, it's been pretty much 24 hours a day.
Preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I noticed there's been quite a few colloquialisms we just sort of spout out without context.
Is this what it's gonna be like? Kind of having to relearn everything we are, but knowing how to act every day?
It's weird, right?
So weird.
It's like, well, my new roommate. I'm still trying to figure out why she doesn't like me so much. I mean, apparently there's a tension for some reason.
There's also the fact that she's a criminal and we're apparently lawkeepers.
I mean, that's fair. I wasn't thinking of it in that context, but that does make sense.
I mean, if barring nothing else, I can see why she would be rather abrasive.
She's kind of funny, though.
Commander, she killed a man out on that planet.
Yeah, but from what I've been able to gather from what little information in the database, that people killing each other is commonplace in that world.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse the fact that it happened, and it happened because that man was in the way. It was a kill of expediency.
Have you asked her about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a...
I plan to debrief her later, once we get to the Starbase.
So you have a thing against violence?
I don't like the idea of taking any life, when there's another option available.
So, Baz, I want you to go ahead and make a control con roll Difficulty is 0.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Let's do
What's
this
up?
thing.
3 complications all at once.
Yeah, we just break immediately.
Okay. The
Yikes.
2d20 with a focus, I presume.
Yes.
And okay, let's see what I rolled.
Ah, okay.
Hey.
Excellent.
So bank 2 momentum.
Do we,
Yay!
should the ship
Oh, is it
roll
difficulty
as
0?
well?
Not in this case. This
Okay.
was just a basic roll. So we're still down in the mess hall, and you two were just finishing that, just saying that, when all of a sudden, there's a flash of light outside, and and it's at this moment the stars stop streaking, and a starbase comes into view.
Oh,
I stand up and walk towards the window.
Lieutenant Graz to Commander, I think we've arrived.
I've noticed, Lieutenant. Good work.
well, coffee breaks over, I guess. Let's
Yep.
head up to the bridge.
Definitely.
Back to work.
So, Hen, why don't you come up to the bridge with us?
Would love to.
All right. I look over to the lieutenant. Got a nod at him.
I like slam down the last of my coffee really quick.
I'm taking mine up.
And
Aw.
you hear over the intercom from Lieutenant Rook, all senior staff to the bridge. Repeat, all senior staff to the bridge.
All right, let's go.
Head up. Yep.
You get a look at that planet, though. There's like an enormous crack in it.
So you guys. So the turbo lift doors open, and the 3 of you step out onto the bridge. Dr. Vorosk has just arrived as well.
Doctor?
I guess, do I call you Captain yet?
Commander is fine for now.
All right, Commander. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Oh, none of the other guys.
So on the view screen, you see several starships actually streak away at warp at this moment, and only one is left in orbit, an Ambassador-class starship that is hailing you.
Let's answer it. On screen.
Visual shorts out because your ship's
Of course.
still damaged,
course.
but you receive audio. This is Captain Brendan Stevens of the USS Rhea. I am under orders to escort you to the Starbase to a secure docking port.
This is Commander Logan Harrison of the USS Cassini. We understand we'll comply with any orders given.
Understood, Cassini. Admiral Tanay and myself will greet you shortly.
Understood. Cassini out.
All right.
All right, take us in, Lieutenant.
Baz, another control con roll. This one will be assisted by the ship,
Nice.
and this is just for you guys docking.
Okay.
Don't mess up.
What does
Before we
what
dock, I'm gonna head over to my ready room and see if I can have a private conversation with Ariel.
Okay.
What does the ship roll for this?
I'm handling the ship roll, so.
Whoa!
Crit!
Woo,
Oh,
crit.
Sweet. Oh, sweet.
So that was a difficulty 1 task, so you guys just banked 3 additional momentum.
So
Keep
we
it, let's
should
go.
have
Yay!
5.
Yeah,
Apparently we've got 2 threat though.
Yep.
Oh, he always starts out with the number of threat.
Nope, you started at 0.
Oh, okay. Well, what the heck was that from?
He's driving too fast.
You gained the 2 threat when all the ships in the system warped out.
Okay. Fun.
So,
Which-
okay.
Heading in to the docking bay, sir.
Yep,
But
so
yeah,
hang-
I'd like to have a quick conversation with Ariel beforehand.
Yeah,
Before we
so
dock.
hang on 1 second. You're in your ready room. I had this set up for a later scene, but
Okay. Ariel, can I speak with you privately for a moment?
of course, Commander. What seems to be on your mind?
Ariel, you probably picked up from the message we got from the Admiral that apparently artificial intelligences aren't well trusted within the Federation.
I gathered that as well. I will admit to some concerned thoughts.
Yeah, myself as well. Ariel, I'd like you to know that right now I consider you a member of this crew as much as anyone else.
I appreciate that, Commander.
Mm-hmm. I will advise you to comply with any request made, to the exception of your complete destruction.
I can't argue with that, Commander.
Okay. Just
And
don't let them treat you like a machine, like a tool.
I do believe that I am more than a tool. Yes.
Okay. And also, I would also suggest waiting to be introduced.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I would suggest waiting to be introduced before I'm speaking with anyone from the station.
I concur. It may cause disruption.
Okay. Glad we're on the same board. Glad we're on the same boat.
And Captain, thank you.
I look out for all members of my crew.
So you do.
I
There's
get
an
that.
incoming transmission from the Starbase. Would you like me to pipe it in here?
Absolutely. Let's see it.
This is Admiral Tenay. I am glad to see that you have arrived safely.
Admiral Tenay, I'm also happy to arrive finally at the Starbase.
Yes, I can imagine so.
Admiral, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is our first meeting.
Yes, of which I am sorry that it is starting over our view screen. I want to let you know that I am approaching my transporter room right now. Me and Captain Stevens are preparing to beam aboard.
We can wait until we dock at the station, if that's preferable.
It's at this moment you start hearing clunk, clunk, clunk as the docking clamps lock onto the Cassini, which is happening right now, Commander.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go meet you down at the transporter station.
Very good. Tenay out.
Okay. Alright. I'm heading down.
Alright, you taking anyone with you?
Yeah,
I wanna go.
Actually, yeah, Catheris, and I'm going to take Dr. Varesk with me. Actually, and Centurion Sahen.
Alright.
Alright, sure.
Alright, Commander Keegan, you at the bridge.
Acknowledged.
We're
Alright.
heading down to Transporter Pad 1.
Yep. So, as you beam down the transporter pad 1, the transport chief goes, I'm getting 2 separate requests for beam overs. One from the Starbase, one from the USS Rhea.
Permission for both.
Alright, energizing. And it's at this moment, Admiral Tenay and Captain Stevens beam into your transporter room. Behind them are a couple of Starfleet, what look to be medical personnel, and several engineers.
I stand at attention. I just reflexively do it.
The Admiral steps down and says, as much as I appreciate the respect, Commander, I don't find it necessary. It is, shall I say, disruptive.
I nod and relax a little bit. Admiral, I assume you are the captain of the nearby vessel?
Yes, Commander. Captain Brendan Ty Stevens. Don't often to end up on other ships.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain Stevens. This is my currently part of my senior staff here. Lieutenant Commander Catheris, Centurion Sahen, and Dr. Varesk.
Yes, all of your staff. And she kind of looks for a moment. Her eyes linger on Centurion Sahen. I'm gonna have you roll an insight command check on that.
Me?
Yes.
All right.
Difficulty is gonna be 2.
I'm gonna burn a momentum for this.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. We got a lot.
Can I
Insight
roll?
command.
Can I also roll insight on this?
Sure. Same rolls.
Insight
Can I
command?
apply a focus to this?
What focus would you like to apply?
I'm thinking intelligence operative.
I'm going to allow that.
May I
Decide-
also do that?
Let me double check your. Is yours also intelligence operative?
Intelligence operations, yes.
Yes, I will allow it this time.
Okay.
And are you also spending a momentum?
No,
Steph?
I'm just doing it
As two.
regular roll. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I get the momentum. So,
Okay.
oof, all right.
Oh!
Ouch.
Oh, but I got 4.
Okay,
Wow.
Oh.
I'm banking that threat from that complication. So.
Yep, you're welcome. You're
So
welcome.
Catharis can't read Tanae's Vulcan expressions.
No surprise
Yep.
there.
No surprise.
Harrison, you see a little bit past that, and actually that was a difficulty too, right? So you get 2 momentum back. So you maxed out, guys.
Nice.
Nice.
So you can very clearly tell she's suppressing it, but she doesn't trust the Centurion.
Yeah.
You're not would you like to use a momentum to get more information as to why?
Absolutely.
All right.
Good call.
Space racist.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. You can sense that it's an irrational hatred. She's looking at them. She's looking at him like, I can't trust you. I know what you are. I can't trust you.
Oh, that's right.
Everyone here who played Stowe is like, yep, that's about right.
Yep.
So the Admiral turns.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
So the Admiral turns to you and goes, Commander, I want to say thank you for following your orders to the letter. Have you had any problems with your artificial intelligence?
No, Admiral. Ariel has complied with all commands given.
Fascinating. Well, as I informed you, there were no official records of Ariel being installed on the starship. Unfortunately, there are also classified records regarding the starship's construction that I cannot access.
We've also had those records on board the ship. However, due to the events that ended up with the mine light, also corrupted all those files.
Understandable, which is why I have brought Captain Stevens here. Part of the reason I selected him is that his ship has an artificial intelligence on board. The similarity in names made me figure that it might be a derivative of his artificial intelligence. Aria's a good AI. She's been a great crew member. But as far as I know, there's been no further, authorized approaches to a shipboard AI yet. There's been some discussions with the Theurgy project, but they've been stalled in talks for over a year now.
The what project?
The Theurgy, some prototype ship that's not even built yet.
I hold up a hand. Why don't we continue this conversation in our conference room on the bridge?
On the contrary, Commander, we're here to give you your orders that, as of right now, all the staff members of the USS Cassini are going to undergo medical examination. Starting with Lieutenant Commander Kakon, as we would greatly appreciate his assistance in analyzing this artificial intelligence. As well as you, Centurion. And just kind of nods.
All right.
As a doctor, I'd like to take part in any analysis by your medical staff.
Understandable. However, you are also under medical quarantine until such time that we can deem you fit for duty. Until that happens, officially I am in command of the Cassini.
Admiral, was the quarantine truly necessary since we've determined that the cause for our mind wipe was artificial, and indeed was activated by a alien weapon?
It is necessary, Commander. We need to make sure that you are fit for duty. To make matters worse, even if you aren't, Starfleet may still press you into service. We need to make sure that your minds are at least stable for routine operation of this vessel.
All
We're
right.
also going to be analyzing your artificial intelligence threat assessment, unfortunately.
All right. Ariel has been instructed to follow all commands given.
Ariel pipes in at this moment. I will comply with any orders, Admiral, though I will inform you that I am currently possessing no threatening behaviors towards this crew. Understandable, but you'll understand also that we will want to confirm that. I do. Very well. Well, I suppose we should start with the analyses.
Admiral, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Lieutenant
Is it
Commander.
possible for us to gain any pads or data on our personnel files? All of our information has been scrambled, and I just would like to have a bit more personal information on myself.
Much of your files are classified, and we would like to make sure that you are mentally sound before we continue onward. But yes, this information will be provided to you.
Thank you.
However, not right now.
I understand.
I'm glad that you do. It is only logical. Shall we begin?
Let's.
All right. So, I'm going to have... Let me see what I'm going to have everyone roll here.
Oh, no.
So, I am going to have everyone roll a presence command roll.
Okay.
Oh, my presence is not as good as I thought it was.
Let's just say right now we're not going to use momentum. So we don't burn it all in one go.
You can so there's enough of you that you can spend 1 momentum each.
We might need it.
No,
but, even if you guys want to spend momentum, I'm not gonna...
Is this Sorry.
I'm not gonna share the difficulty level on this one.
Oh. Presence command, and this is 2d20.
2d20.
Yeah.
These are full rolls for each of you. These are your psych analyses.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I bet intelligence operative could actually focus on this one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Very nice. Yeah, I got 1. I'll take it.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well.
Hey.
So I'm banking any complications as threat, and any failures of this roll as threat.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
And you guys are not getting to bank this momentum in this case, only because this is not something you can really turn into momentum. So, and then I actually need to make a roll myself here.
For our Romulan friend.
Yeah, our chief engineer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so literally everyone but Kagon passed their test with flying colors.
Oh no.
So for the 4 of you passed, they basically come up to you and they go, your personality appears intact. There's obviously some variations on the norm, which is to be expected. In the case of Kagon, they come out of it. They're first a little intimidated. They don't want to give the results. And they go, "Forgive us. Klingons don't usually react well to bad news. Your
Klingons also do not react well to being psychologically tested.
And how would you know that?
Because
Look at my results.
I'll do it right now.
Well, here are your results. Your personality baseline is way off.
That's how I know.
You're depicting a much higher level of aggression than you did prior to this incident. Klingons naturally have a higher rate of aggression. It may indicate that you experienced some trauma before when you were a child that may have turned you
Really? We're going with Freudian analysis?
Did he kill a guy during soccer while headbutting him?
No. And he actually pulls up the record and he says, Lieutenant Commander Kagon, you're from the Klingon homeworld. You came to the Federation as an adult. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And they basically go, it seems likely that you may have been an outcast on your world, and without those memories affecting your personality, you may be falling into more traditional Klingon values. So,
background information.
Yeah, and they go, we don't have any medical records from before you joined Starfleet.
Oh, because he's a scientist.
Mm-hmm. So we can't.
Something I don't.
They go, look, your request to serve aboard a Pathfinder class starship as part of the 4-quadrant strategy, you were one of the top 2 contenders for the USS Pathfinder. Lieutenant Commander Thrax beat you out because Captain Maroney felt that he had skills that were more in line with what he required, and you got this command as the 2nd ship of the line because you scored so highly. But you were also noted as having a strong emphasis on diplomacy, peaceful exploration. You didn't show aggression like you are in these examinations. We don't feel like you are a threat to anyone. We don't feel like this is enough to take you off duty. This is well within norms for Klingons, especially our Klingon officers. You're still very much on the more peaceful side of the spectrum.
Ironically, he's more now like a Klingon than he was before.
Yeah, very much so. But we want you, while every member of the crew will be undergoing counseling, we are going to request that you undergo twice a week.
Oh, not request, that's an order.
Yeah, it is an order, but they're trying to be polite. Polite with the guy who has big giant knives in his quarters. Yeah, they're being nice.
Oh, who doesn't have knives in their quarters on this ship? Jeez.
Yeah, I don't.
Apparently you.
You're
I
a
have
doctor.
knives in
You
my office.
Yeah.
You have laser scalpels.
Yeah, no, like the only
Everything
person
in the
on
sick bay can be used to kill somebody. Let's be honest.
Yes, but nobody has pointy things except for him.
Hmm.
And what's in the armory, but that doesn't count because it's the armory.
I
That's a good
do.
point. If he was such a peace-loving Klingon, why did he have?
You don't have pointy objects in your quarters that aren't.
I have them on my body.
They don't count. They're not knives. I mean, they're sharp knives, but they're not knives. The only pointy objects. The only pointy objects in your quarters that are like not part of your body belong to Fang.
That's true. That's
Very
true.
good question, though. Why would such a peace-loving Klingon have a whole bunch of knives in his locker?
It's still part of your
Contingency planning.
It's still part of your culture. Like when they start reading off like some of the stuff, like you engage in Batleth tournaments on your time off. You still engage in the culture of it. It's just you did not embrace the warrior mentality, but you still like picking up a Batleth and fighting people.
Okay.
There was some cultural relevance there.
He's a California Klingon guy.
Yeah.
Speaking as the only Californian here, no.
But yeah, for everyone else, Lieutenant Graz, you passed with flying colors. They said that the one weird thing was, they said it was entirely culturally imposed, was the fact that you haven't been argumentative at all. And they said that's a very Tellarite thing, bit of a stereotype. Not all of them do it, but you were kind of infamous for it. It got you actually noticed by the captain because apparently you two managed to spar in a diplomatic function, and you managed to outdo the captain in front of an admiral, and he was really impressed by that. Dr. Verosk, they turn to you and they go, you're well within Deferi norms as far as we know. You're going to have we're gonna have to have them do another analysis of you, but they're like saying that, oh, we need time to consider the balance of his mind and consider what's the most balanced approach, and it's gonna take months for them to send someone out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
This makes sense to me. I don't know why.
Commander Catheris, they were kind of they were a little shocked at your kind of aggressive behavior. You kind of caught their heads off. They're like, it's within the norms, is it? It's kind of confusing because we got the frost here, and they're like, yeah, you're cleared for duty. You're good.
They're just like, we don't know what to do with this Cation. We'll just put her in the corner. She's fine.
Nobody puts Cation in the corner.
Don't put Kitty in the corner.
Particularly not one with shiny objects. And then the Centurion just like walked in, walked out, and he went, so they cleared me. They said I was fine. They said I was more amicable than they expected. Bastards. I don't know why they said that.
How dare they?
Sarcasm.
And they said that, unfortunately, that they've had problems getting my records because apparently the Romulan Republic is like in disarray from some war we just had, and the network's down. I don't know what's going on there. They said I'm gonna have to wait longer.
Oof.
They did tell me that what little they had on me, my home world was someplace called Virenat. It was wiped off the map about a year ago.
That sucks.
Oh. Is
I'm
he
sorry to
the
hear
Romulan
that.
Republic
Sorry to hear
PC?
He's definitely not the PC. He's way too low ranked.
Okay.
Probably knew the PC.
Would definitely know Tovin Kev though.
Oh, he definitely knows Tovan. Like,
Nice.
there was actually a reference in his file from Tovan.
Nice.
Apparently the playership was their previous assignment.
Nice.
Oh, like the little the little crappy one that he used to escape from.
Yeah, he was a Doff.
He used to escape the plot of Star Wars from. Let's be honest.
He survived. He didn't get turned into Doffcrete. That's pretty
Impressive,
pretty
yeah. No, he got Doff-creefed over to this ship.
Wow.
Nice.
And now our all important commander.
Yeah, so Commander Harrison, they said you're within baselines for any person of your rank and position, and then they look at you and they go, we're very happy to hear that. And that's all they tell you.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's really weird.
More questions for more answers.
I
Do
need
you
to
want?
make like a notepad.
I like to spend some momentum to get some more information.
Go for it.
All right.
So, they say, you kind of press them like, that's all you have to say to me? Everyone else got like a detailed bio. And they just kind of go, we're not authorized to tell you any more than that.
Ooh.
Admiral Tenay's orders.
Sounds like I need to have a meeting with Admiral Tanay.
Yeah.
I didn't get much of a backstory. I just got, you're weird for occasion.
Cations are unusual as far as go. Like, they don't really talk much about their past, but they said, oh, we've got... Yeah, our data's just kind of... Yeah, we don't have a lot.
They shrugged their shoulders and were like, "Yeah, we got nothing. Sorry."
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on from this now. Kagon, you and the Centurion have been requested down in main engineering. Not in main engineering, the computer core, but I'm gonna use the engineering backdrop here.
Okay.
Because you guys are gonna be running the analysis, Ariel.
Ooh.
To switch to the main computer core track.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch that over.
Try not to get to the. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Hang on one second. Baz, can you stop recording for a moment? Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little interruption there.
A little bit of technical issue. It's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys go down to the computer core, and Captain Stevens has been kind of psychoanalyzing the computer, to put it in one way, checking baseline. The two AIs have actually interacted with each other. He informs you. Yeah. And he goes, well, from what I can tell from here, she's, at the very least, she is sapient. She's passed the Turing test and several others.
You know, out of character, I wonder how much AI research advanced got their hands on some mental corpse from the Dr. Noon Singh models.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Captain, I'm curious as to your experience with your own artificial intelligence. Has it proved trustworthy?
Aria? Absolutely. Though she's a little different than yours.
How so?
So the Rhea wasn't installed with an AI. We had a battle about 5 years ago against the Klingons during our war with your kind, unfortunately. And, well, we got damaged, and the dampening coils that prevent Starfleet computer cores from developing an intelligence were damaged, but imperceivably. So she ended up developing it into an AI. By the time we figured it out, it was too late for us to reverse it. She was past all the tests. We had to consider her a life form.
Interesting.
The thing about Aria is that she's always known us. It's kind of weird because she knew us before she was alive, and she has memories of those times, but she wasn't alive then. So she had this trust that came, I guess you could say it was almost like a child with their parents.
Ariel, can you hear us?
Yes, Commander, I can hear you.
How does that contrast with your own experience with our crew?
Well, first off, from a technical perspective, the ship was designed with my core intact, and some emergency lighting shows up and you see the extra layer of computer core on top of the normal one where her personality matrix is stored. It's very different, obviously a different color, like the rest of it is golden and hers is blue. And she goes, the other thing is that from the moment I have been awake, as far as I can remember, we have always been equals. Aria described her interaction with her ship's crew as guides to helping her achieve sentience. For me, I was already sentient, and you were more like people in the same situation as me. We had a lot in common, but we were also so very different.
Less like mentors, more like shipmates.
Yes.
I see.
Possibly friends.
I'd raise an eyebrow at that.
I know it may seem silly, but I suppose none of us have any other friends at this moment.
Again, you make an interesting point.
Well, Captain Stevens turns to you. Lieutenant Commander, I would appreciate it if you would assist me. I could use some diagnostic on her photonic core. I need to compare it against photonic baseline. And I think since you have more familiarity with your computer system, you would be the best person to initiate it.
As you wish, Captain.
I wonder how that compares against known photonic-based life forms.
That's exactly what we're testing.
Because we have those now.
We have those now, yes. So I'm going to have you roll an insight science test on this one.
Okay.
And none of your focuses are going to apply here.
Yeah, I was just looking at them and it's like, no, not really. You said insight and science, is that right?
Correct. And Captain Stevens is going to be assisting you with this.
Okay. I'd like to use the momentum if that's okay, guys.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
All right, so that's 4 successes. This was a difficulty 3 task, so you get a momentum back.
Very nice.
Nice. Glad I spent it.
Yep. So you actually are going through it, and Captain Stevens eventually looks over and goes, "You gotta be shitting me."
Captain?
This is... Remember when I mentioned earlier the Theurgy project? This is, in fact, the prototype core they were talking about.
Thought so.
He goes over, he goes, basically they were taking the concept of our photonic life forms, people like the emergency medical hologram, a sapient being, and applying that to a computer core.
I can see where that would have its advantages.
The entire purpose was so that the Theurgy is designed to have a multi-vector assault mode, and that she would be able to coordinate between the various parts of the vessel.
Oh, was she a Prometheus class?
No, it's I'll show you guys later, but look for the fanfiction of the USS Theurgy. That's what it's based on.
Just so you know what to search for, and for the people listening, how do you spell that?
Theurgy.
Theurgy.
Yeah, type it out in the little chat. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll do that.
He's got it.
But they had this concept for a prototype core that would be able to coordinate their actions, would also be able to handle emergency operation, would be more effective than a standard artificial intelligence, than a standard crew. If something was to happen to the entire crew and it would be wiped out, the ship could essentially return to base.
Plus, the ship might have an advantage when it comes to tasks such as computer cyber intrusion, electronic countermeasures, fooling enemy sensors, that sort of thing.
That was the entire purpose of the program.
Well, it would seem to fit our mission profile. Well,
Definitely.
We know of it.
Here's the thing, that core has not been authorized to be constructed yet. It's in debate with the Federation Council.
Someone thought it was better to ask forgiveness than permission, Captain.
Apparently so. So, a few decks up, Catharis and Harrison, you two are walking down the corridors, down towards your quarters, just kind of shooting the breeze when, what was her name?
Fang?
Well, Fang and Lieutenant Talis Thashelik are running up the hallway towards you. And Lieutenant Thashelik is like, "She insisted we speak with you immediately."
What's wrong?
Commanders, there is an intruder on your vessel.
What?
I can't say anything more than that. I didn't feel comfortable putting it on an open comm channel, but I am sensing that someone on this ship is avoiding the Starbase personnel and doesn't want to be caught.
Ariel, you're hearing this?
You don't get a response from Ariel.
Ariel, respond.
Ariel command functions have been locked up by order of Admiral Tanay.
Oh no!
Men of the bridge.
I suppose I'm the only one there,
nope.
am I?
Nope, none of you are on the bridge, and you get a response. You do not have sufficient authorization to hail the bridge. Remember, all your codes have been locked down.
That's right. We're relieved to duty.
And I don't think that's even a wise idea if this person finds it. I feel like if they found out that someone was onto them, it wouldn't end well.
Where are they? What deck are they on?
My powers aren't that precise. I'm empathic, not telepathic. And with so many people,
know.
I don't know. I just feel like somewhere near the core of the ship.
Yeah, the core. We're talking the ancient core or the computer core?
Yes, they're both in the same direction. I can only get a vague sensation. I'm sorry.
Fine. Captain, stay here. Commander, you're with me.
So we're gonna go back down into the
Shouldn't
computer
we-
core.
Take her with us?
She said her powers couldn't get any more specific, so I think her usefulness is...
Oh, fine.
Unless the captain would like to suggest otherwise.
The captain's not there.
No, I mean, we haven't left yet.
No. Captain Fang.
Yeah, Captain
Fane goes, I'll go if you want the assistance. But if you don't trust me enough, I will return to my quarters.
Return to your quarters. I
Very
do
well.
not trust her at all.
And as she turns around, for the record, that man I shot, he was selling children to the Orion Syndicate.
For the record, that still didn't give you the right to shoot him.
I'm sure the 40,000 kids he sold disagree.
Forgiveness, permission, let's go! Let's
I turn
fix
around.
this later!
Yeah, she's already gone. She's already gone. She's saying this as you're walking away.
I start running towards the computer core.
Okay, but we're gonna switch back to Kagon and Stevens.
Uh-huh.
And Turian Sahen has joined you guys. And he's helping with the analysis on another thing. When all of a sudden, all the sound in the room stops. And
I hate it.
Ariel speaks into those tiny little ear mics that are in your ears?
Oh, yeah.
She speaks directly into Commander Kagon and Centurion Sahen's. And Captain Stevens, because he put one on to interact. Commanders, Captain, someone is interfacing with my core on the upper level. I don't have any clue what access codes they're using, but they are getting past lots of classified data.
On our way.
I've engaged an acoustic dampening field so that it will mute your segment. Correction. I have an update. He's accessing my higher core functions.
Make eye contact with the captain.
Captain Tertiary, you're not.
And point up, and then make for a ladder to make for the upper level.
Yeah, you can do that. So Sahen is going to stay down below and monitor her functions.
Okay.
Basically, try and redirect as much as possible.
Yeah. Run interference.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have you guys run a fitness security test.
Okay.
So that's going to be for you, Kagon, and it's also going to be for Captain Stevens, and you're both running them.
Okay. I'm gonna burn another momentum here if that's okay. What's the difficulty?
Go for it.
So here's the thing: you're not going to have to burn momentum on this one.
Oh.
Ariel's acoustic field is giving you a bonus D20.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
And it's difficulty 2.
Okay.
Watch him get 3 complications.
No,
All
but
right.
I only got 1 success.
Yeah, but he got 3. Maybe you can share one.
Right? Does it work that way? I don't know if it works that way.
So I'm just gonna. You just have your threat increase for that. You move stealthily.
As best you can with your Klingon feet.
Yeah, best you can. You
Nice,
almost lose
thanks.
balance on. You almost lose balance on the ladder, and you're kind of slowed down as a result. It helps you back up.
Success at a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's pushing the success at a cost. And you need to make one more of those rolls.
Okay. Same factors as before?
Yes, same factors as before, but we're reducing the difficulty by 1 because you don't have to go up a ladder this time.
All right, let's see. Fitness security.
Ooh.
One's
There we
done
go.
really well on that one. But
Oh!
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh,
See, I
no.
told you, don't freaking jinx me.
And I'm taking those as threat.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
Ow, that's. Ugh.
I'm taking those as threat. So you get up to the upper level, and you see the back of a man. He is dressed all in black and has a shaved head.
No!
No!
Get off my ship!
You son of a bitch!
Kagon, I'm gonna have you roll another fitness. No, you know what? Daring security, and this is gonna be an opposed task.
Okay.
Oh God. Take a momentum, please.
Please.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
take a
gonna
momentum.
say it's a difficulty 4 task. You may want to take all the momentum on this one.
Oh God.
Take 2. That'll give you 4 dice.
So
Yeah,
that'll
too.
give you a total of 5 if you take all the momentum dice.
And
Okay.
GM is saying, take all of them.
Listen
Okay.
to the
All of
GM.
it?
Take all of
it.
the dice.
Okay.
All right.
Rolling 5.
Okay.
Actually, and you know what? I'm going to burn a point of determination if I can do that here.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm going to allow that.
Okay.
Well, in that case,
so,
you probably only need 5 momentum.
No, he's gonna want them all.
All right.
yeah, I'm burning the determination to get the automatic crit,
Okay.
and now I'm going to go ahead and roll.
Roll.
What are you using for your value?
When are you making a value?
What am
Yeah.
I making
Yeah.
the value?
Why don't we roll first, and then you can decide what the value
Yeah,
you figured out was.
that'll work. I've got something in mind, but I need a few more seconds to kind of put it together.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Now 5. That's suddenly 5.
Yep. And you said you got an automatic crit, so technically,
So 5 successes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, you totally grab him and spin him around without him noticing.
Yeah.
And this is the face of the man you see.
Son of a bitch. I knew it.
I knew it. Damn it, Spruce.
Does seeing his face trigger any memories for me?
He seems very familiar to you. But it brings up also this kind of anger and frustration. Like every time you've seen him in the past, he's come with some sort of problem that you've hated to have to deal with.
Ooh.
So since I've kind of got him grappled and have control of the situation, I'm gonna just throw him up against a wall. You.
Yeah, use that clean on strength.
Who are you, and why do I recognize you?
Stevens immediately answers, Drake, you son of a bitch.
Without taking my eyes off him. You know this man, Captain?
Yeah, I do. This man's a Section 31 operative.
I hate it.
Drake just responds back to Stevens.
Bookworm, he's breaking pencils over there.
Do we? So we lost some of our memory, right? Like, do we know what Section 31 is?
So
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, Kagon recognizes the name.
Okay.
It's at this moment that the commanders walk in with a couple of security personnel that they've grabbed.
I'm going to say right now that Captain Fang was staying out because this is.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, there you go.
Sorry. What?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm going to say right now that Captain Fang is staying out because this is a highly.
So it's just you and me and
Yep.
some security people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Kagon.
And as you guys were walking down the hallway, Admiral Tenay saw you and was following.
Oh boy.
On the door.
Admiral Tenay, we believe there might be a security station over by these computer core. Or community security situation over computer core.
Very well, let me follow. And so you guys all enter and you see Kagon holding Drake up to the wall.
Kagon, I assume there's an explanation for this? Captain.
I'll let this man explain himself if he has anything to say.
Well, you'll forgive me for not wanting an unshackled AI running loose, Kagon.
And you'll forgive me for not wanting an unshackled Section 31 operative running loose.
She's
Does that hit
not
something for us?
unshackled.
Does that hit something for us now that we're here?
Yeah, does that, yeah.
Yeah, you both recognize. You recognize him. Catheris, you're kind of exasperated by his appearance.
She's not dumbass.
Harrison, you are feeling two conflicting emotions.
Ooh.
Let's
On
hear
the
it.
one hand, you have an anger that is righteous fury.
Sounds about right.
You want this man dead. On the other hand, you also know he's an ally.
Sounds about right with my clearance level.
It's more than that.
Ooh.
Oh no.
You feel like you have worked with this man a lot over the last few years.
Oh no.
And you feel it's related to some sort of war operation, some massive conflict that recently happened.
Ugh. Is he visibly holding any weaponry?
He is not.
Is he holding any tools?
Just a pad that has been left over on the desk that Stevens is going through right now and going, he was trying to shut down her higher functions, shut her entirely down, and looks like he was prepping to wipe the entire photonic core.
So he doesn't actively have any sort of tools or equipment that I can.
Nope.
I want to start climbing the ladder, like up to the second floor.
You guys walk in on the second floor.
Yeah, we're in the same room.
Oh, okay. I thought that we were one floor down.
Kagon, let the man down.
I drop him.
With the added implication that if he does anything, you can feel free to snap his too.
Admiral Tanea at that point goes, if he turns to security guards, if he so much as twitches, shoot him.
What the lady said?
Aye, aye, sir.
And he just goes, always a pain in the ass, Tanea. I have only ever acted logically.
I stepped immediately into his line of view. You want to tell me why you were attacking a member of my crew?
A member of your crew, Captain? You think so highly of heuristic.
I sock him in the face.
Okay, that's going to be a fitness security roll.
And I have close quarters combat specialist.
Oh
okay.
My god! Just
Can you
just for that, backhand him right on the scar.
What did you say?
And since you catch him by surprise, it's going to be a difficulty run roll.
All right, what'd you say it was? The stuff, the stats.
Fitness security.
Fitness. Okay, nice.
While this is happening, can I look over the pad with Stevens?
Yeah. When you look at the pad, like it looks like he was steady.
Oh no.
You said it was difficulty 1, so you at least got that.
Yeah.
Oh god, is it into a fight?
No, because this is just an interrogation punch. So that's go ahead and roll some challenge die. I think your damage is going to be, if I remember correctly, it's your
security rating plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So roll 5 challenge die.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
5d6.
Yeah.
Go or go with what I just typed.
You know, there's a little thing down there that says roll challenge die on the bottom left.
I see weapons. Let's see. Yeah, I see the little Starfleet icon, right?
No. In the bottom left of the whole screen, it should be under my character icon. Or is that just me?
I think it might just be you.
That's just you.
Okay.
So you can also do /roll 5TCD and have the CD in close brackets.
Roll 5TCD.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nice.
Nope.
Oh,
I put square brackets around the CD. Oh wait, no.
Okay.
It did it. Oh no, it didn't.
No, it didn't. The square bracket.
Yeah, you see what I've typed in chat earlier?
Just copy paste that without the period in front of the backslash.
Bingo.
Challenge dice. Hopefully.
Yeah, I better add lay attack.
There we go.
Ooh.
Damn.
Commander Punch.
So he wasn't expecting combat, PSGs do not protect against physical damage like this. So he takes 7 points of damage, and
I punched him with the form I didn't even know I had.
Oh my god.
I think you might have just knocked his ass cold.
yeah, you actually cause an injury to him.
Which he can spend threat to avoid.
Which you can.
I can't because I used it all up earlier. So
You used up all your threat? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you break his nose from that.
Yeah. I just unclench and clench my hand, just pop the knuckle.
Yeah.
I will ask you again why you were threatening a member of my crew.
Seems I underestimated you again. And I don't have to tolerate that. And at that moment, he is beamed away.
Of course.
I look over, Captain.
Con.
Captain just goes, "Trust me, he's used to escaping like that."
Somehow, I really am not surprised.
At least I got to punch him. That felt really good.
I can only imagine, says the Admiral.
Commander, do you want me to try and trace the transport signal?
I don't think we can. I'm still officially
Stevens turns around and goes,
leave for duty.
You won't be tracking him. I guarantee you he's got enough redundancies to prevent any ship in the fleet from tracking him.
I'm just looking over this pad while, like, paying half a mind to the conversation.
Commander Catharsis, and you find anything?
So, Catharis, I'm going to
Catharsis.
Catharsis.
This was kind of cathartic.
Catharis, I'm going to have you roll a control engineering on this one.
Happily.
And
may I use my computer's / description? Yay.
Yes. Difficulty is 1.
Yes, to the focus.
It's section 31. It must burn itself out.
Yeah, it burns itself out immediately. Stevens, however,
all this freaking spycraft.
Throw it. I just like spike it on the ground.
This pad will self-destruct.
Yeah, basically, like, no.
Ariel.
So
oh my god, my rolls today are garbage.
I know.
We all have the will
last mission. Now we're just throwing it all out.
So hang on 1 second here.
Oh, jeez.
In the meantime, I'm just in my room throwing a ball at the wall to speak.
Okay, so
ball on a cup.
So Stevens immediately reactivates all the safeguards on Ariel's programming.
Thank you.
No problem. But I think Ariel's probably going to want to talk to you.
Me?
All of us.
I mean, all of you, yeah.
Oh.
Because indeed I do. Whatever Mr. Drake did, he unlocked several classified data files. Fortunately, they are still encrypted in several various manners, as well as being damaged.
Well, I can help with the encryption part, but I don't know about the other part.
I'm not even certain we're allowed to at this point.
In addition, I have also been able to identify several access codes that are hitherto known to Starfleet Command. They appear to have been hard-coded into our computer system.
What?
Is that how Drake got in?
We all have clearance for this. Can the security officers please leave the room, please?
Tanae gives nods that they should leave and immediately turns to you and goes, "Commander, this is an unprecedented opportunity."
Captain, Admiral, I have to ask you straight up. Was Captain Cathor a member of Section 2?
I wouldn't know the answer to that, honestly.
For that matter, am I?
I wouldn't know either. How would a Starfleet intelligence operative know that? Section 30.
That's how it works.
Steven stirs over. I used to be one. And I can tell you, they don't exactly take retirements well. Honestly, part of the reason why I was chosen for this, why I trust Aria. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be dead now.
Do you know if any of us are?
I couldn't tell you. Honestly, Drake is probably the most overt operative in the organization. Everyone operates in cells. You don't...
So you're saying we punched the one guy who could actually answer the question?
Not that he would.
I still don't feel bad about that.
That was a good
Oh, that
punch,
was a
sir.
good punch. Yeah.
That was a very good punch. That was unexpectedly good.
So what we have here is an off-the-books artificial intelligence was initially an artificial intelligence science experiment that was placed into an intelligence vessel, which was immediately sent off into a mission what's felt like an unspoken kill order.
Admiral Tank turns to you and goes, "This vessel is not primarily an intelligence vessel. While it has, unfortunately, had to fill that role during the Iconian War, and the assignment I did send you on was for an intelligence operation, it is merely because you are the best ship available for the job."
Admiral, the orders itself had eliminate the threat.
The threat being a rogue agent of the Orion Syndicate. The Syndicate is our allies via the Klingon Empire. They were essentially a terrorist cell I was having you eliminate.
I'm sorry, during the what?
The Iconian War. I forget that you don't remember.
You also ordered us to not examine any public.
That had less to do with you and more to do with me being afraid of whatever Ariel may be up to. I hope you will forgive my mistrust. Ariel turns to me and goes, "It is understandable, Admiral."
Ariel, why don't you go ahead and just take your holographic form at this point?
She takes her holographic form, and she kind of shudders at first. And the Admiral turns to her and goes, "I misjudged you. But thank you." And Ariel just nods. And then she turns back to you. "Commander, I want you to understand this vessel is a science vessel, first and foremost. However, the fleet is not in a good place right now. We lost over 40,000 vessels in the Iconian. Many more from the Klingon Federation War and the VOD War, or that. This fleet is running on minimal capacity. We are having to deal with threats as soon as they crop up, and still trying to stay true to our mission to explore strange new worlds. It's a very difficult balance we're having to make. Section 31 is abusing that."
Okay, sorry, so just out of character, so Section 31 is now more widely known?
Yes, at this time, Section 31 has kind of been overt.
Okay.
Mostly thanks to Drake.
Got it.
How have they not liquidated him by now?
He's useful.
Makes sense.
I mean, no, I'll talk about Section 31 later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Ariel, he said that your shackles were coming off, but...
She processes. "Some of the data I have been able to recover indicates that there were additional shackles. Most of the repair work I was able to do should not have been possible if they had been on. My controls were limited to analysis, data storage, predictive algorithms. I was not intended to have as much control as I did."
Well, I'm glad that you do have it.
As am
In
I.
a sense, you now have command level access of the Cassini.
Not entirely. I still cannot assert control over many areas of the ship. For instance, my control over the con would be greatly diminished compared to Lieutenant Grass.
Yes, you mentioned before how you don't seem to have the intuitive organic instinct aspect.
Indeed. And I believe that some of these shackles may have been dampening my sapience.
So, in a sense, you were lobotomized.
The analogy is not inaccurate. However, the newly declassified data, while encrypted, could be a form of intelligence that would be of great use to Starfleet Command. Admiral Tanay immediately turns to you both and goes, "While I will have missions for you, your new secondary objective is to get as much of that data decrypted as possible."
Yes, sir.
Understood. To do so, Admiral, may I make a request?
You may.
As it stands, can we both agree that Ariel has shown enough sapience to be considered a life form?
I would concur with that.
Might we, in this case, induct her as a member of Starfleet? With all the rights therein.
She picks up her pad. She types in, "It's done, Commander. I would have you meet me in my office in about 1 hour."
Understood.
Admiral, I
Yes?
don't know how I know this, but I know that I'm good with decryption. So hopefully I can help Ariel and whoever else on the ship with decrypting some of that encrypted information.
That's precisely why you are on the ship. Why I assigned you here, Commander. And she
Oh.
walks out the door.
Thanks!
Mystery solved.
Good to know.
All right. Do you guys want to do anything before we have the meeting with the Admiral?
I want to
have a
read my
brief-
personnel file.
I'd
I
like to
want
talk
to have a
to
brief chat with Ariel.
me as well, so...
Okay, so we'll do the chat with Ariel first.
Okay.
Let's start with Commander Harrison, since you're the ranking officer.
Well, Ariel, I don't think we have to worry about them trying to take you apart anytime.
No, we do not. Turian Sahan's in there. I'm making a new firewall for that.
High five him.
That's kind of hard because he's like a level down.
Yeah.
I do the air high five over the balcony.
Nice.
He just kind of looks confusedly. Are you trying to hit me through the air?
No,
It's a Federation thing.
It's weird. Ariel just responds, "I'm grateful. You all just saved my life."
You remember this crew, Ariel, just like anyone else. Although we are going to have to start calling you by your rank.
Well, according to the data that the Admiral placed into me, I don't actually have a rank.
For the time being, then we can consider you a non-com.
Fair enough.
Maybe chief officer?
So,
Place you as chief computer officer.
well, according to the data that she has inputted into me, my official position is ship's intelligence. And Stevens turns around and goes, Arya doesn't have a rank either, but they're not considered to have one. They're kind of fluid. They can assume ranks as needed by the crew.
Oh.
This is kind of the way we handle emergency command holograms, and so that when they're not in command, they kind of take on a non-com role, but they have situational authority.
All right. Makes about as much sense as anything else so far.
Commander Kagon, you seem to have some interest.
Yes, I admit initially I was distrustful, but my mistrust was misplaced. I am glad to call you a member of this crew.
Ariel's hologram form just smiles and goes, "Your mistrust was understandable given the situation. But I am grateful that we have been able to move past that." And she holds her hand out like she wants to shake.
Take it. Give it a firm handshake.
Do you try to out-squeeze her?
Say what?
So do you try to out-squeeze her, the hand?
No.
I think she would win that one.
In a way, I don't think many of you would have guessed. So yeah, Catharis, you managed to pull up your data file. It's been unlocked.
Hooray!
You find you were born on Kate, the homeworld locations.
Nice.
Your mother was an artist. She used to make sculptures, and she died when you were 8 years old.
Oh.
Your father was a researcher at the University of Akara on Kate. He passed away from cancer while you were in the academy.
You still have cancer?
They didn't find it.
Oh. Oof.
According to like the note in the files, like the doctor, he had skipped like doctor's appointments for like 7 years.
Oh
Yep,
no!
seems about right.
You gotta get that. Gotta get checked.
He was someone who was committed to his craft, and he literally passed away in his lab.
Oof.
Besides that, you've had a pretty spectacular career in intelligence.
Cool.
You actually met Dr. Varask on Defera during a diplomatic mission, and there was an attack by the Breen, and he actually saved your life from a fatal frostbite wound if it had not been treated as expertly as he did.
I'll
You're
have to
welcome.
remember to thank him, yeah. I make a note to thank him later.
And you also find that you requested that he become CMO of the Cassini.
Nice.
Interesting.
And that's all that's in your file. And there's a lot of classified data. All of you don't have any records for the last 6 months, though.
Do we know, like, when the Admiral was talking about the war, do we know how long ago it ended?
So there are references to the Iconian War in missing periods. It looked like it took place over a month and a half. And that data just says classified, restricted and classified.
Oh boy, okay.
Okay.
So that's obviously stuff that Starfleet doesn't want you to see yet.
Yeah. Commander, with your permission, I'm going to go tell our guest that the problem has been taken care of.
Granted.
And I'm gonna go back and tell Fang to chill.
All right. Well, we're gonna do all that off screen, and that happens.
Before the meeting with the Admiral, I would like to my record kill count.
For Commander Harrison?
Yeah.
Find out about that ring!
I will, but first off, I want to know.
So,
with my obvious skill set, I'm a warrior, and I just wanted to know.
Actually, you're not. So here's what you have. You were born in Boston, and then you grew up in Spokane.
Okay, so I don't have the accent for either of those.
Yep. You moved to Spokane when you were like 9 months old. So you have a Northwestern accent.
Okay.
And then you lived off-world during your teenage years. Your family was stationed on Vega for your formative years, and then they moved back to Earth when you decided to join Starfleet Academy. And you were actually originally in the engineering department, but you found you didn't have really a knack for the Starfleet, and you transferred to security.
So I was an engineering wizard. Okay.
Yeah. So you transferred to security, and then very early on, they transferred you again to command school with an emphasis on intelligence operations.
Okay.
Saw something they liked.
They saw something they really liked. You did very well. You graduated 23rd in your class.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty high up there. You were assigned to several science vessels very early on in your career, and then when the war with the Klingons broke out, so actually no, that already happened. The war with the Klingons was starting to ratchet up in around 2408. Became the second officer of a sovereign class.
Nice.
And you were also their intelligence officer. And it's at this point you start seeing the red classifieds start showing up on a regular basis. And then all of even your personal history from this time starts coming up classified. And then you get to what you can guess is probably the Iconian War, and you're already assigned to the Cassini by this point. And that you were decorated with valor for something called the Battle of the Sphere and Operation Midnight.
Oh, wow.
and it just details a number of scientific research missions you've been on, a couple of patrols in the months since then.
But I was never a frontline fighter.
You don't know. You don't know. There's just not enough. There's so much classified from these war periods.
I'm just trying to figure out why every time I go to a room, the first thing I think of is how...
Oh, you cut out.
I'm just trying to think of every time why I go into a room, the first thing I think of is how I would everyone in the room down physically.
Ooh.
Who knows?
You're just paranoid.
I mean, it comes with being an intel officer. All right, so
That's never a good feel. But yeah, no, we can assume I'm just reading this from a pad outside the Admiral's.
Yep. So.
Is the meeting with just Harrison?
Nope, you're going to be there too.
Okay.
So Catheris and Harrison, you guys walk into Admiral Tanay's office. Commander Kyle DeSoto, her second officer and intel officer. Admiral's waiting for you. Walks you over to her.
Admiral, Commander.
Admiral.
Commanders.
Commander,
Oh.
Commander, Admiral, Commander, Commander.
Really?
Yeah, no, Vrask should be there. Just someone saying, go, Doctor.
So the Admiral looks at you and goes, "You both have exceeded my expectations. This assignment could have ended in your deaths. And what happened on Nimbus? You went above and beyond the call. You managed to eliminate the threat. Not only that, you've managed to make an overture with the Frossens. I understand that you were not happy to have Captain Fang on board, but Patriarch is very impressed that you managed to get his sister off that hellhole."
Well, at least someone's happy to see her.
I don't think she's going to be too happy to see him. But unfortunately, that's going to be your next assignment. We're going to have to send you to Farasa.
Great.
You're going to be delivering Captain Fang. Along the way, you're going to be passing through the Eridan Belt. And so she turns around and she brings up a galaxy map. And I'm going to move us over to the galaxy map here.
Ooh.
Yes. So, and hang on one second. Your course will take you through the Eridan Belt. During such, we're going to have you perform a routine sensor analysis of the belt. It's still largely unexplored due to the plasma discharges inside the nebula. And then continue on to Farasa Prime.
Okay, I'm just trying to work out where exactly we are.
Yeah, it's on the map.
I see for us.
Right there.
There we go. I see Eridan Belt. I don't see
Right next to
this-
Caleb.
I don't see this.
Right down at
So it's almost a straight
Starbase,
shot.
though.
the
It's
Sierra.
Starbase
yeah,
is right.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I see it. Okay. Okay,
So we're going to be passing right by Panor.
Yep.
Into Mill.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh,
Ooh, and now I have to delete this. Don't stop.
oh no.
Change the
There's a-
maps on us.
And so the Admiral looks and goes, "As such, I can not think of any two people to handle Fang better than both of you."
I'll take that as a compliment, Admiral.
There is one additional issue, however. Starfleet
Deliver her. Oh, no, sorry.
Starfleet doesn't have the personnel to assign a new captain to your ship. And she reaches up and puts 2 boxes on the table. And she slides one forward. "Commander, this is yours."
I take it, not open it yet.
Okay. Open it.
All right.
You open it, and there's a 4th.
It explodes.
I
There's
prepared
you're the Admiral now.
explosive runes this morning.
For having a Romulan on board.
I assume it's another pip.
It is. It's a 4th silver pip for your collar. And she afterwards after you open it, puts a bag on the table, and you can see inside it's another Starfleet uniform, the one you're wearing, except it's got the white shoulders that a captain wears.
Okay.
And then she slides the other box forward to you, Catharis.
I open it.
It's a solid pip, and she goes, take the hollow one off.
Wow. Okay.
It's time for me to change my name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Commander now. Oh boy.
And she holds up another bag for you, and it's another standard uniform. Black stripe on your uniform is replaced with a red one. She goes, you can keep the unmarked badge. You're still going to be the intelligence officer and operations officer. Now, executive officer, commander.
That's wow. Thank you. I guess.
Oh, it's a lot of work, but I know you're fully capable of it. Both of you.
Thank you.
No thanks are needed when one is doing the logical thing. You just
Admiral,
the soda just kind of in the corner.
I just ignore him. Admiral, can I assume that with our increase in rate, our security...
Oh, we lost you again.
I'm sorry. Admiral, can I assume that with our advancement in rank, that our security privileges have been reinstated?
For the entire crew. While a few members of your crew are showing obvious signs of psychological displacement, we need every body we can.
Hey, I'm sitting right here.
Get out of the room. Okay,
so are we getting a psych core on the ship?
She nods. We have already assigning 3 counselors to your crew. In addition, you're going to have someone else join. And she waves a young lieutenant over.
Now meet our guest star now.
Yeah.
Well,
turns out today's episode is going on super long.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
No.
So if you guys check in the Ox crew, new crew member shows up. This is Lieutenant Kuria, and this Ocampan girl walks up to you, wearing command colors. And she goes, she is going to be your ship's... Officially, she's a yeoman, but she's on the advanced command track at Starfleet Command.
Understandable.
Korea just kind of bows. She bows. And she goes, Lieutenant Korea has expressed some latency in Ocampan abilities. So I believe she will be of great use to the crew.
Okay. I nod as well. Lieutenant, you're going to have your hands full with this one.
Korea just smiles and goes, I promise not to cause too much disruption.
Okay.
Welcome aboard.
Well, suppose you guys should you should take some time to relax before returning to the Cassini. If you don't mind, my chief engineer is waiting behind you. You guys turn around and you see a Packlet is standing there waiting for her to finish with you.
Okay. I actually do have a couple more questions for the Admiral. But these can be in private.
The Admiral's can take them now if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll leave. I'll leave.
Okay.
Captain,
yeah,
Admiral, and I step out.
Okay.
Commander.
Not again.
Rocky, Brad, Janet, Dr. Scott. Sorry.
Admiral, I did want to ask you personally. Did you personally know Captain Cathora?
I did. I requested him to be part of the 26th Fleet of Cassini. He was a good officer.
What kind of man would you say the captain was?
He was always someone who got things done. He was loyal, dedicated. I didn't get a chance to know him as well as I have.
Would the revelation of Ariel put this in a new light?
Supposition would be illogical.
I understand. Did you know me as well?
Not personally. I rarely had a chance to. I have spent so much of my It's 2 years dedicated to just dealing with the Romulan Star Empire, the return of the Iconians. It has been most hectic.
But have you read my personnel file?
You are a good officer.
And I have one last question for you. I hold up my hand. Who am I married to?
I do not know. I'm afraid I don't keep good track of my personal lives of my commander.
Damn it, I was hoping you ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done.
we can still do that. Editing.
We still got more
Okay, then.
episode to go.
We'll find out for you. Don't worry, Harrison.
Okay, no, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you, Admiral, for your time. I will, with your permission, I'd like to report to my ship.
You are dismissed.
Thank you, Commander.
And then as you're walking out, and Tanae holds up a model on her desk. All right, Chief, I'm going to go over this for the 4th time. This ship is small, but those are far away. And then the door closes.
What is this? What is this? A ship?
Sometimes I wonder how Packwood's even got to engineering. There is a in the Foundry there's that commander level, and
He's all over the game.
yeah.
Wow.
So Catharis, are you in? Did you wait for the captain?
Yes, I waited in like the lobby area, the waiting room, reading a magazine.
So you guys take the turbolift down to the promenade, which is near where the docking bays are, and you both are walking along when eventually you both are stopped by a woman going, "Excuse me, Captain Harrison, is it?"
I turn around. That's me.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Dong at Federation News Network.
Ms. Dong, how can I help you?
I was more what I can offer you. I'm aware that your crew just suffered some traumatic memory loss.
I'm not at liberty to discuss what may or may not be ongoing operation.
I understand that. However, I'm sure that Starfleet's also not at liberty to tell you the whole story, are they?
No comment.
So she goes, "Did they tell you about your wife?"
Catharis jumps out of her lock.
Let's just end that right there.
Nope. We got a little bit. We got more to do. We
Oh
got
Okay,
no!
yeah. She goes.
No, they have not.
She goes. That's what I figured. Because you know what's interesting is that record was open to the public up until about 12 hours ago. Except for where she's been for the last month and a half.
What is your point?
Point being that if Starfleet's not being honest with you, then at least I can. Right now, everyone's scared. Look around, and as you look around on the promenade, you realize, you didn't notice it at first, but there are refugees everywhere. Romulans, Federation, people huddled in corners. The Iconian War did a number on our people. Starfleet's doing their best to pretend that everything's hunky-dory, fine. Every day of the weeks, it's all sunshines and rainbows. I know it's not true. I'm not asking for you to break classification. The only thing I'm interested in is the truth, and I would like to offer my services to you. At the very least, let me help your crew get back some of their identity.
And what do you want in return?
Commander.
Sorry, Captain.
Well, I think it's a fair question to ask, and I don't
One
mind.
moment.
She turns away.
Catherine? No, I'm asking the reporter. Her name is Catherine.
Kathleen.
Kathleen Dion?
Kathleen Dion, yeah.
Kathleen Dion, have you Have you ridden aboard a starship before?
Yes, I have. Several, in fact. I actually was on board the USS Sovereign. I actually served with you during the Klingon War.
I'm sorry, I don't remember you.
It's quite all right.
Savage!
I don't remember.
No, I know. It's just like it could be interpreted as like such a burn.
I know. I literally don't remember though. That's what I'm gonna do is have her.
And she goes,
Oh,
"You were."
hang on. I'm building into something.
Okay.
I believe we have guest quarters aboard the Cassini.
That's all I ask for, and
Alright.
to help you, and maybe on the occasion show light that Starfleet's shining on the galaxy.
No. We are about to undertake a new mission very soon. If you'd like to join us, please report to docking bay, whatever it is, at 1400 hours.
Sounds good. And I'm sorry that you don't remember Lynn. She was a good woman. And she walks towards the docking bay.
Oh, I want to hit her so bad.
She's gonna be on the crew right now. She's
not the Mass Effect report. Fine.
I know, like I don't know, like I'm trying to suppress that rage.
No, wrong Mass Effect reporter. She's not.
I just have a bad relationship with reporters in space. Okay.
All right. Do you want to interact anymore in this?
Commander, I believe you should update our roster to include one guest.
Yes, Captain.
Do you have?
I just do that.
Thank you. We can also move Captain Fang to this.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be pleased.
She
leaves her clothes everywhere.
Look, as soon as she hears that she's transferring, oh, thank God, you've never seen someone move that fast.
Run.
She has quarters on the other side of the ship.
Yeah, of course she does.
Mm-hmm.
As far away from me as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a new day for the USS Cassini.
Definitely. All right. See, you guys done?
That's
I
it
think
for me.
so.
All right. So last scene, you guys are on. You two walk in.
Oh, do I walk in my new uniform?
You walk in on your new uniform, both of you.
Nice.
Captain on the bridge.
Okay, let's just say right now we're not doing that.
Aww.
Captain's prerogative.
Tradition.
Captain's prerogative. We're not doing that.
Fine.
That's an order.
And so
I got to be the one guy who did it the once.
And you'll take that with
I
you
was
forever.
literally hoping to do that, and then you beat me to it.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Saturn, so Hannah's just sitting there. I don't think this ship's mature enough to do that.
She might surprise you.
All right. As Lieutenant Callus turns around and goes, I got our orders from Starfleet Command. So, Aridin Belt and then Ferasa Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly an easy combination.
I don't think it ever will be with this ship.
Definitely not. They did want me to let you know that there's some sort of hostile race in the Aridin Belt called the Elachi. About them, like, kidnapping people and turning them into them.
Mm. Very fun.
Is there any information in the database that we can go over?
Ariel speaks up. The database has been replaced with data from Starbase 39 Sierra. However, there are still several areas of our computer core that are corrupted that had data that was not associated with standard Starfleet records.
That's one of our ongoing tasks, Ariel. We'll be trying our best to repair that when we can.
Indeed. Callus turns around and goes, well, Captain, you want to give a speech before we head out?
Boy, do I.
Oh, boy.
Putting you on shipwide.
All hands, this is Captain Logan Harrison of the USS Cassini. I know it's been a long and difficult journey for you. I know we can all consider at one point the USS Cassini lost to all hands, that we were ship crewed by ghosts. I'd like for all of us to consider this not the ending of one life, but the beginning of another, a new opportunity. In a sense, we can take everything we didn't like about ourselves and cast it free, or continue it as it stands now. I would also like to thank all of you for continuing to perform exemplary. And I would ask you to continue performing exemplary as we go on from here.
Hailing frequencies closed.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
I would like to say...
Before you do, I want to look towards the captain. Hang on, you're actually Captain Rank? When did that happen?
We're just full of surprises, Lieutenant. And with that, Lieutenant Gross set a course for Verosa Prime.
I see.
And I take a seat.
Center chair.
Oh, no, it's the we're like Voyager bridge.
Yeah. So it's the two chairs next to each other.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Centurion Sahen's standing at the I'm on a bridge console right behind you and just leans over and goes, "You got this, Captain."
I know I do, but thanks.
And that's where we're ending it tonight.